Hi, my name is Leandro Facchinetti, and let's write some code together, shall we? What we have on the menu today is a bot for Slack that will send email notifications. It is one of these things that was driving me crazy, and we are going to try to use code to fix the issue. So let me first explain what is going on here. I use Slack with my team on my day job, and I did not install the Slack app on my phone. I don't want the notifications from work to follow me around wherever I go. And I didn't really see a point in installing the Slack app on my machine. It's an Electron app that it's kind of heavy, and I'm okay with Electron. I'm building an Electron app in the stream, so I like Electron. But still, it is a browser tab. It's a chat thing. It is supposed to work on a browser. And it does. I mean, it bugs you to go install the app, but as long as I say, no, I don't want to install the app, it's okay. It works in the browser. And I believe in the web as a platform, so I want to use the browser. And it works 99% of the cases. The problem is, if someone says something on one of the Slack chats, one of the Slack rooms, I think that's what they call it, the rooms. If someone says something in a room and I have not been mentioned, so they don't add me, and if it is not a direct message, so if it's not in a conversation with just me, I don't get notification. As far as I can tell, it's impossible to turn on these notifications. It's like, what the hell is going on? Here, I will show you. So this is my Slack room for my day job, and I can come here to my preferences, and there is something about notifications. And this screen is super deceiving and weird and messed up. I'm going to explain what's going on. At least I'm going to explain my best understanding of what's going on. So here there is something, when I'm not active, send me email notifications for mentions and direct messages. That's half of the way there. If someone mentions me or sends me a direct message, I get an email, which is great. I don't want to check the Slack app. It's not like we have hundreds of people here and there is a lot of conversation. No, someone says something today and then someone else says something 5 days from now, that sort of thing. Hi, GSPT 4760. I am doing good. And you? I am trying to solve a pet peeve in Slack, and that makes me sad that I have to do this, but it's kind of fun too, so we'll see how this goes. So as I was saying, this allows me to turn on email notifications for mentions and direct messages. That's kind of okay, it's half of the way there, but it's not how every other app works. If you go to like YouTube and comment on one of my videos, I get an email. If you go to Patreon and you start supporting me, which you should, then I get an email. If someone sends a message on Patreon, I get an email. And so on and so forth. For every app that I use, I'm able to turn on email notifications. Even for things like Hacker News and Reddit, there are third parties. They don't come with the app, but there are third parties that you can enable, and you're going to get email notifications. That's how every app works, except for Slack. In Slack, you have to log in and check. There is no other way. I mean, not for mentions and direct messages, but for just regular conversation on the channels, you have to log in and check. But this screen, I said, is super deceiving because it has this bit about email notifications, and I said, okay, I want to receive emails as soon as I am inactive, which is the best setting, I suppose, here, and then send me email notifications for direct messages and mentions. But then there is this other box, notify me about replies to threads I am following. So I enabled this thinking, well, it's probably going to send an email too, right? The button was up there, but it was supposed to be down here. It was supposed to notify me. But no, this checkbox applies to this enable desktop notifications, which, no thank you, I'm not going to enable desktop notifications on Slack. I want to receive an email when someone says something. And then I went looking for something that would enable me to do this. It seems like there is no setting in Slack that allows you to do that. Slack just does not support email notifications. It's a chat app that doesn't have email notifications. It's ridiculous. And I have literally no idea why people like to use Slack. For me, it's like one of the worst designed apps, and it just doesn't have plain features like email notifications that everyone should have. But everyone is using Slack, and my boss is using Slack for other things on his job, so it makes sense to be on Slack because everyone is there, even though the platform is completely messed up. But everyone is there. So there is an API for Slack. Can we build a bot that will be just listening for all the conversations and send me an email? So can we fix Slack using a bot? I think that we can. And I think it has been done before, actually. If I remember correctly, Slack is used with some open source projects and other kinds of communities, but there is no way for you to just create an invitation link that you can share with anyone in Slack. It's just another one of the missing features in Slack. And maybe this has been fixed already, but as far as I remember, you had to install this app, and most people just deployed it to Heroku because it would be free that way. So there is this app that goes to the Slack API, creates an invitation and invites you. So it's an app with a single page, a single screen, and you just put in your email and it's going to use the Slack API to generate an invitation. Another shortcoming of the platform that has been solved with an API. So what I am planning to do is something similar to that in spirit. I'm going to fix the broken platform that is Slack. What a terrible, terrible app, and how I hate Slack. But we are going to fix it, and we are going to make it send email notifications with a bot. That's the plan, at least. We'll see how well this goes. So I have collected some tabs here. I was doing a bit of research before I started this stream because I didn't want to just turn on the camera and be like blah, 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 blah. But I looked very little into this. So I know that there is a Slack API there are like 13 Slack APIs, many different flavors. You have to excuse if I am grumpy. You have no idea how much I hate this. I made a list of reasons why I fucking hate Slack. It's a fucking terrible piece of shit. But we're gonna fix it. So yeah, there are like 15 different APIs that you can use with Slack. And one of these APIs gives me a webhook. Anyone sends a message on any chat, I am supposed to get a request on an API endpoint. And then I can integrate with something like SendGrid to send me an email. And I can deploy this to Heroku. So the whole thing supposedly can be free. We'll see. But ideally, I'm able to deploy an app to Heroku that is a Slack bot that sends an email using SendGrid. You'll see how well this goes. Alrighty, so I guess we start by creating an app here and getting an API key and everything. So it seems like there is this bolt thing that helps you create a bot. No, not the Java version. This version. And as I said, there are like 37 APIs for Slack. And it seems like some of the APIs are supported by some of the internal tools and other APIs are not. I don't really understand what the hell they're doing with their API situation. But I think that I am also able to just come here to your apps. It's behind my face. Around here, there is this apps thing, so I can create my first app. And we'll create one from scratch. And how do we call this? I'm trying not to be too negative on my streams and not to be too grumpy, but Slack sucks. That's going to be the name of my app. And I was playing around with this and it says, don't worry, you can change this later. And I was not able to change the name later. So I think that this is going to be forever. Slack sucks. That's the name of our app. And we are going to be on Courselore, which is my day job. All right. And then there is this Save Changes button that doesn't do anything. You click on it, it doesn't work. Who's developing Slack? I mean, is there anyone working there? Do they do anything? Slack, if you want to support me on my streams, go to my Patreon page, go to PayPal, and show me your love. I think that you are doing great. I think that's one thing, right? They have a lot of money. Add features and functionality. Incoming webhooks. I think that's what I need. Post messages from external sources to Slack. Nope, that's not it. Webhooks usually are the things that are called when there is an event in the system, but not on Slack API. That's the other way around. A webhook is how you send a message. Event subscriptions. Make it easy for your app to respond to activity in Slack. I think that's what we need. You can subscribe to be notified of events in Slack. For example, when a user adds a reaction or creates a file. Not quite, but we'll see if there is something here. Let's see what kinds of events we can subscribe to. We'll send an HTTP post request to this URL when an event occurs. As soon as you enter the URL, we'll send a request with a challenge, yada, yada, yada. Subscribe to bot events. Don't think so. Subscribe to events on behalf of users. I think I could subscribe to events on behalf of myself. Add workspace event, find event, something like message. Message was posted to a channel. So now what I'm doing is I'm configuring the Slack API so that it knows what I want it to notify me about. And then it's probably going to give me an API key that I will have to use on my, I think I will have a server, right? It is going to call me on a server. So I will have a server and it will call me. So I need to have an API key of sorts in there. And if possible, I'm going to write this in JavaScript, in case you are wondering. So it seems like I cannot click on Save Changes, because of course I cannot, and it doesn't tell me why I cannot, but I suppose it is because I have not filled in a URL yet, and I don't have an URL yet. But there is this other thing that I have never used before, but I'm going to look into it. Maybe it will work for us. The problem is, this is going to make a request to a computer, and ideally it would be my development machine, but my development machine is not available online. For instance, if you who are watching me on YouTube right now, if you want to go to my machine and make a request to an HTTP server running here, you will not be able to. My machine is not exposed to the internet. But there are these projects, there are two of them, ngrok and Local Tunnel. And what they do is they create, well, a tunnel so that I connect to a machine that is publicly available, and then I can tell Slack to go to this machine, and this machine will forward the request to my machine and then answer back. So it's going to act as kind of a proxy in the middle. I have never used one of these because I've never needed to integrate with APIs like this, but I suppose it's relatively straightforward. So we'll see how well this goes. I'm going to start by going here and creating a Slack sucks project. And I am going to install Local Tunnel. And I suppose I should install this for development. So that's I'm going to remove Local Tunnel, and I'm going to install for development Local Tunnel. So you may be wondering, there are these two. How did I find them? Well, ngrok I kind of knew about already, and then I went to npm trends and looked for ngrok, it's nice to do this because it shows you related stuff. And then I looked at local tunnel as well, and some others that are not really related. They show up here because of correlations, but they are not really related. Then I learned that local tunnel was a lot more popular, so I decided to give local tunnel a try. And it seems like local tunnel is installed. So now I suppose I need to be running a server already, so I'm going to npm install express and write a server real quick. Oh no, it created a file with the wrong name. There you go. So let's create an express server real quick. And their suggestion is to run on port 8000. So that's what I'm going to do as well. And then I can node index, and the server has started, so I can go to localhost at 8000 and I see my little server. Now let's try to do this from a local tunnel. Oh, I made a mistake here. I wrote it wrong. But it seems to be okay. Yeah, it's in the right place. All right, so we are running our server on one tab, and we can npx local tunnel at port 8000. And this is an URL that you all can use to go to my local server on my local machine, supposedly. Well, it doesn't really work. Friendly reminder, this website is served via local tunnel. This is just a reminder to always check the website address you're giving. What? This is just a reminder to always check the website address you're giving. Personal, financial, or login details to is actually the real official website. Phishing websites, blah, blah, blah. You and other visitors will only see this page from a standard web server IP every 7 days. Okay. Options to bypass this page: set and send a local blah 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 request header, which is not something I can do really. Set and or send a custom non-standard browser user agent request header. I sure hope that whatever Slack is doing when the HTTP posts this, they're not sending a user agent that would mimic one of the user agents from a browser. Otherwise, they will get this and local tunnel will not work. Whatever, click to continue. There you go. So this is a link that you all can go to, and you will see Hello World coming from my machine. I'm not really sure I should be sharing this link, but I think it's okay. I don't know the security around this. I really hope that there is no like local tunnel now take over the machine and delete everything that is there and steal credit cards or whatever. All right, so I have something that I can share with the Slack API. And of course, it's going to say that I did not respond to the protocol correctly because I just have a hello world going on. But at least it's there. So it exists. And now can I click on save changes? Of course I cannot. Why would it let me do that? Because it's Slack. Fucking piece of shit. Okay, so we need to start responding to this challenge. And for that, I suppose I will have something like bolt that will help me do that. Listening to actions. And then I will listen to an action, or it's called an event. There's something about events. Listening to events. You can listen to any Events API event. So yeah, Events API is one of the 575 Slack APIs that overlap. They have different versions. They are all over the place. Some of them are like deprecated but have been around forever, and some of them have weird names that don't correspond to what they do. Awesome stuff. You can see I'm coming from a place of anger into this project. I'm usually I try to keep it positive in these streams, but this time I'm fighting the system. Okay, so messages. A message was sent to a channel, events API. Yeah, I think I will listen to one of these. So I think that this is gonna do what I need. I'll just say app event, blah, blah, blah. So we'll try to use this boat guy. But before we do, I'm going to create a repository and I'm going to create a gitignore file. I'm going to commit what I have. Just so if we decide to not use bolt, it's easy to just undo everything. So we have our stuff running here, and I guess I am going to change the server so I can do this. What happens when I stop the server? If I go to this URL, what happens then? It's going to give me like, oh, I tried to connect but failed. No, it just keeps waiting for whatever to respond. Okay, looks good to me. So how do we even use bolt? What is this? Is this an npm package? Getting started. Create an app, tokens and installing apps. Yeah, I think I will need one of these, but OAuth and permissions. Yeah, I think I'll need one of those. We'll see. npm init. Yeah, there we go. Slack bolt. And then next, what do I do? Well, I need to initialize this. All right. So it's not, I don't think it's going to be an Express app. I think that Bolt is going to take over and it is going to be the server. We are probably going to say something like Bolt start, which is similar to Express listen. So I don't think we'll need Express really. Okay. So initializes your app, your bot token and signing secret. Yeah, I think I need to generate one of those. We'll see. Your Bolt app is running. No, we're gonna say Slack sucks. And then we need an emoji. Yeah, I think that this one is appropriate. And this is not how you do it in 2021. All right, so not only I need to get some of these tokens and signing secrets, but I also need to have them stored somewhere where you all will not be able to see. I think that is important. So let's go to OAuth and permissions. Advanced token security via token rotation, OAuth tokens for your workspace, redirect URLs, scopes, restrict API token user. Okay, 500 different ways of doing this. What do they have here on the getting started? There are 3 main token types available on Slack: user, bot, and app. User allows you to call API methods on behalf of users after they install or authenticate the app. Bots are associated with bot users and are only granted once in a workspace where someone installs the app. I don't think I want to behave as a bot then, because I don't want to install the Slack Sucks app for everyone in the what do they call the Slack room, the Slack channel, the Slack community, the Slack group, whatever, the Slack team. That's what they call. Oh, it seems like the local tunnel eventually sends you a timeout. That's appropriate. That's actually correct. That's what I wanted to see. So it seems like this Slack team can only have one bot installation, and I don't want that. I want that to be on behalf of me. So I think I want user tokens. And app level tokens represent your app across organizations, including installations by all individual users. Yeah, again, not the case. I think that architecture I want for this is you are pissed off with Slack as much as I am because Slack fucking sucks, and you just install this on Heroku for you, and then you go to your teams on Slack and you install whatever you need to install. So I think I will need, we are going to use bot and app tokens for this guide, of course, but I want user tokens, I think. User tokens represent workspace members. They are issued for the user who installed the app and for users who authenticate the app. When your app asks for OAuth scopes, they are applied to user tokens. You can use these tokens to take actions on behalf of users. Okay, how do I get one? Of course, the Slack docs would not teach me how to do that. Do I go to my face here on the corner? Preferences. And then sidebar themes, accessibility, mark as red, advanced. No. Okay, let's try this again. Edit profile, no. View profile, no, not really. Invite people, preferences, settings. These are for my team or organization or workspace or whatever. Manage members, manage apps. So if I was to do an app for everyone, I would probably install it here, but I don't want it to be for the team. I want it to be for me. So even if I am in multiple different teams, I will still have just one installation of the app, and it's going to pretend that it's me, and it's going to be in all these places. Is there a Slack API for this? Do you know? If you know, let me know in the comments. Maybe you know the answer for this. I don't. And maybe there is no API to pretend to be a user, and then in that case we'll have to resort to pretending that we are me and going to slack.com programmatically, filling in my username and password programmatically, clicking on these buttons programmatically, and looking for changes. So that's another way of doing this. It's not pretty, but it's a way. Yeah, so it doesn't seem like I can change these settings here. Maybe if I just go to slack.com, it's going to give me more options. No, if you go to slack.com, what happens is, first, I was redirected to something that failed to load. It tried to open a Slack link, which doesn't work because I don't have the Slack app installed. And then I have... So they know that I'm logged in because it's showing my stuff, but there is no like user profile situation going on here, because of course not. It's Slack. Slack versus email. Slack sucks, email is great. That's the difference. Slack user token. How do I get one? Create and generate API tokens. Reissue a token. Legacy test tokens. Bot user tokens, we know that we don't want one of those. It really seems like if I wanted, I would need to like install this tool for everyone in the team. That is not ideal. I don't want other people to have this app going on just because I happen to have this workflow that I prefer. And you see how when I'm on Slack, this is the interface, and I go here to the Slack API stuff, and it's a different interface, and I come here, it's still the Slack API page, but it's a different interface. I mean, this logo jumps around, the options here on the right jump around as well, and I'm still in api.slack.com. The app is so badly designed. It's like a nightmare of design. But here I am in OAuth and permissions, and I think this is for the app with respect to a team. That's not what I need. Install app. Please add at least one feature or permission scope to install the app. To add one permission scope or one feature, I need to be able to click on this Save Changes button. But to do that, I need this URL to work. But to do that, I need an API key. What gives? Features, event subscriptions. That's what I am trying to do. App home. I guess I can just add a dummy permission. No. Now I am afraid I won't even get to the email sending part of this project. Let's just search for Slack user API, whatever. Using the Slack web API. Slack user API event message. Please help me out, Google. A message was sent to a channel. Required scopes, channels history, groups history, IAM history, and MPIM history. Works with the Events API and RTM. There are no links to explain what is the Events API or what is RTM, but it seems like it's real-time messaging API. They are sent via the real-time messaging API when a message is sent to a channel to which you subscribe. This message should immediately be displayed in the client. New Slack apps may not use any real-time messaging API method. Create a classic app or use version 1 OAuth flow. I'm okay with that. If I go to a link saying version 1 OAuth flow, it takes me to a page where it talks about OAuth 2. Okay. Let's try this from a different angle. Instead of trying to learn about the API, we can tell that the documentation fucking sucks. Let's go to the packages we can use for interacting with the API, and maybe they will have some documentation there. User token? No. Users tokens? No. User anything? Setting up events. Listening to events. Yeah, that's so much what I want to do. No, I don't think this is gonna work. I don't think they have the API for this. Let's close some tabs. Take a deep breath. We will be able to do this. We will be able to do this. It must be possible. Slack. Let's go to NPM and search for Slack. We'll find some things in there besides their own both thing. Slack API client written in JavaScript. Let's see if they have something about event or message. Me message. Messages. Search for messages matching a query. Not quite. Me message? What is that? Share a me message into a channel. What is a me message? I don't think that's what we need. Okay, so that package didn't go very well. Hasn't been updated in 2 years, which is not a good indication either. Let's see what else we have here. Legacy wrapper. And then I guess it recommends to use Web API and RTM Web API and Webhook API, which I think is deprecated. At least RTM is. Remember how I said in the beginning of this stream that there would be 5,000 APIs and none of them do what we need? Yeah, here we are. Web API, Slack Node, messaging API, Slack Base. If you're watching this, please help me if you know something about Slack. So this seems to be legacy, but it's still widely used. But okay, I will go to this other ones instead. And maybe there is some docs here that will help me. Getting started, events API. I think that's the one we need. Yeah, I was gonna say that maybe we can just not use one of these libraries and try to build an Express app that speaks the Slack protocol, but it seems like there is not even a way to get an API key for me. Column method, handle error, pagination, logging. This seems like the kind of thing you would need to post messages. Yeah, this is about calling methods, and I am sure there will be nothing about messages here. Delete a message, share a message, retrieve messages, but like in a search situation. Okay, real-time messaging. They recommend using the Events API. I don't care about using a legacy deprecated API as long as it does what we need to do. Initialize the client. Take a token from the environment variables, but where do I get this token from? Listen for an event. Message. Awesome. This is exactly what I need. Send a message. Not needed, but awesome. So this is looking good. The RTM API seems to be what I need, except that it's deprecated, but also I'm not sure that this is going to be from the scope of a user. It may be from the scope of an app or team or organization, whatever Slack wants to call this. But let's go to this legacy scoped API. If your app will... Okay, I was reading that. Create a Slack app. Slack sucks. Classic. Your app belongs to this workspace. Leaving this workspace will remove your ability to manage this app. Unfortunately, this cannot be changed later. Then again, this is going to install this on the workspace. That's not what I want. In fact, I should, I think, not be able even to see the Slack Sucks app I created in the beginning of this stream over here. Manage apps. Yeah, that at least is correct. I did not install the app on this workspace. Yeah, the local tunnel and grok stuff is working fine, so that much I can close. Yeah, so it's again, it seems like this is coming from the wrong angle. And this is the weirdly named incoming stuff that is actually for sending. Yeah, that's not good. Oh, the Slack Events API is also turned off. So there is no RTM API, there is no Events API, there is only both. And then there is this Slack node published 5 years ago. For sure, this is not going to work anymore. So it seems like this is deprecated, and this probably deprecated as well. So let's search for Slack. Yeah, user webhook. Sending messages using the incomings webhook. Oh, it's incoming with respect to them. It is incoming from Slack's perspective. The message is coming in. That's why they call it. It's reversed. They think in their own terms, not in terms of the user. And the user being the developer in this case, I guess. And that's another weird thing. So if you search, at least that's what happened to me. When I search for things like what I am trying to build right now, I was trying to find if someone else has built this. And I searched all around and I was expecting to see people like on Reddit commenting about this, or Hacker News talking about this, but no. All the links you ever find, if you put Slack on the key as a keyword on the Google search, you only find things on their website. I don't know how they have such good SEO. I mean, there are no blog articles, no videos, no nothing. The internet is completely silent. If you look for anything related to Slack, you are only going to find stuff on their pages, which, as we established, is a garbage fire. So I am at loss. The other issue I have here is if I just try to go the web scraping route and try to go to slack.com, pretend that I click on this button, that works. And then the logging process for Slack is absolutely crazy. It's not as simple as just username and password. You have to click here on sign in manually. You have to say what is your workspace. And it seems like you don't log into Slack, you log into a workspace. I mean, I don't really understand that. And then eventually you get to type in your username and password. So maybe I could go here. But doing it this way is so painful, because we will need to come here and click on these buttons and see if there are new messages. We'll have to remember the messages. What was the last message we have seen? That is so painful. I really don't want to do that. Okay, let's give this a more careful read. To build Slack apps in a flash. Sure. Okay, so I think we will have to bite the bullet and use Bolt, because it seems to be the only thing that is not deprecated. And we will have to bite the bullet and install this for the workspace. And other people will see the Slack Sucks app and it will not work for them. But I cannot pretend to be a user and log in as me programmatically. Okay, that's okay. So we have installed both, and then we need this signing secret and token. So let's do it the way that they recommended by creating a bot. This guide is meant to walk you through getting up and running with Slack. We'll create a Slack app, blah, blah, blah. First things first, before you start developing, you want to create a Slack app. We recommend using a workspace where you won't disrupt work getting done. You can create a new one for free. No, I'm going to use the existing workspace. After you fill out your app name, you can change it later. Not true. Not true, Slack. Not true. If I go to apislack.com and your app's here on the corner behind my face, but it's there. I can come here to this app, and where can I change this app's name? I don't think I should be showing this on the stream. But okay, at the end, I can delete the app and recreate it. Meanwhile, if you want to use the thing you just saw on the screen to mess up with Slack, be my guest. Please go ahead, do that. Mess up Slack. But how do I change the name? Basic information. Is there something more basic than name? No. So manage distribution, install your app, app credentials, app ID, date of creation, blah, 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 signing secret, app tokens. Oh, here it is, of course. That's the most important stuff. It comes almost last. So Slack sucks. I could change the name if I needed. Okay, whatever. Now, pick a workspace to install it and hit the create app button, and then that's the page where I was at. So I guess I'm going to follow along. This page contains an overview of your app, in addition to important credentials you need later, like the signing secret under the app credentials. Where is it? Client secret and signing secret. Oh, it seems like these things that are really important. This is just a random ID that doesn't give you much, but the most important thing they're not showing by default. Awesome, that's better. So I think that these are the things I need. Client secret and signing secret. Isn't that what I need? Signing secret and token, not the same. You need to send this secret along with your client ID to when making OAuth version 2 access request. Yikes, I don't know. Look around at an app icon and description, and then let's start configuring your app. Tokens and installing apps. Slack apps use OAuth to manage access. Blah, blah, blah. There are 3 main token types. The user token type is called XOXP. Stands for user, of course. A bot is called XOXB. Well, at least that is for bot, but P is for pooser. And an app is XApp. Pooser. That's what I want. A pooser token allows you to call API methods on behalf of poosers after they install or authenticate the app. There may be several user tokens for a single workspace. Bot tokens and app level tokens. Okay, we are going to use bot and app level tokens for this guide. IDDQT sound. Thanks for being here. It's nice to have you here. Hello, I am a pooser. Yeah. The vibe today is heavy. I am trying to scratch an itch that I really wish I didn't have. And I must say, I am writing code while I'm pissed off at the platform that I'm writing code for. And it's just one of those things. It's my boss who wants to use the platform, so I have to use it, which I guess makes sense. And I could push against it. I guess he would be okay with switching to something else. But the thing is, you add friction. And I think I'd rather have friction on my side than on my boss's side. I don't want to be that guy, if you know what I mean. I am kind of being that guy right now, I know, but... Okay, navigate to OAuth and permissions on the left sidebar and scroll down to bot, token, scopes. Bot, I think, is better than app. So since I am not able to create a user token because I don't know how to and the documentation doesn't help me, I'm going to create a bot token. So let's see this side by side. So this is what I am doing and this is the documentation I am reading. So navigate to OAuth and permissions. On the left sidebar, except that if your window is too small, it's right here. Yeah, there is my left sidebar. So OAuth and permissions. By the way, IDQD sound, I loved your stream. You did a really great job. I did not actually listen to the result at the end, so I probably should do that. But it was a lot of fun to be like, oh, I wonder what is up on YouTube. Oh, Arya is streaming. 5 hours later, I wonder what is up on YouTube. Arya is still streaming. 15 hours later, I wonder if Arya is still streaming. Yes, he is. It was a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm here and scroll down to bot tokens. I cannot opt in, I cannot click on this. At least it's telling me why I cannot click on this. That's fine. Redirect URLs, scopes, user token scopes, add OAuth scope. Okay. Restrict API, revoke OAuth. Well, where is the add an OAuth scope for bots? Scopes that access user data and act on behalf of users that authorize them. No, add on OAuth scope, and I want probably something related to messages. For now, we just add one scope chat write. Do I have a chat read? No. Messages. App mentions, channels, history. Oh, I remember seeing this. View messages and other public content that Slack has been added to. Yeah. That is something that I will need to be able to receive that event. I remember seeing that half an hour ago. I am read, I am incoming. Post messages to specific, no. It's incoming with respect to them. Links, NPIM. Think it has to do with private messages. So I think that I will need, like, what was it called? The history? Channel's history. But since it doesn't hurt, I will also add what they are suggesting. And Arya says, thanks, YouTube actually ate the last 4 hours of my stream, so now I have to polish and release it. What? I mean, you were streaming and then YouTube just lost the video on demand for that? Technology, man. It is all falling apart. And Bo says, hey guys, hey Bo, can't watch this now, but we'll watch back later. I'm not sure the vibe is correct today, Bo. If you want positivity, this is not the stream to watch. I mean, you must tune in tomorrow. I will be over at IDDQD Sound and we'll be talking about Reaper and Urea scripts and in particular JS effects, and that will be more uplifting, lighter vibes. People will be happy. I am always happy to write for Reaper, and I am like to write for Slack. So Arya says, yeah, not exactly sure what happened, but I streamed from 2 p.m. to 6 a.m. Oh boy, but my video is 12 hours long. Oh no. Maybe they... I don't know. If you go to YouTube, like there is this... When you are going to studio, there is this thing that allows you to edit the stream. Maybe it is edited for whatever reason. Maybe. GSPT says, excited for the Reaper JS Effects stream. Yeah, so am I. I'm always happy to go over to Arya's channel. It's a blast. I want to learn other types of programming. So the kind of programming that we are doing today, so let's take a step back and actually think about what we are doing. The kind of programming that we are doing today is something that is very valuable these days. It is stitching together a bunch of APIs. The amount of code that we are going to have to write is very little. We will not write any deep algorithms with cool logic or whatever. What we are going to do is go over documentation and click on buttons to set everything right and manage permissions, and then we are going to write 5 lines of code, and those 5 lines are going to integrate with another API for SendGrid, which will send the email. So in case you're tuning in right now, what I'm trying to do is to fix the email notifications on Slack. I have Slack on my day job, and sometimes people don't mention me or send a direct message. They just write something on a regular channel, and if I don't go in and look, I lose that message and I look like a fool. So what I'm trying to do is a bot that will be listening for messages at all times and send me an email, which is something that Slack is incapable of doing. So I need to stitch together the Slack API with this bolt thing along with the SendGrid API, and I'm going to use Heroku to host, but I'm just stitching together things and I'm not really building anything from scratch, which is not my favorite kind of programming, but it is a very common kind of programming these days. Lots of things that people build is just stitching together APIs. Okay, so it gave me a new appreciation for what you do also, because I wasn't really doing my best while live streaming, but you regularly write sick code and don't get distracted by chat. Well, I think that having the distractions by chat is one of the best parts of streaming. Otherwise, I would be writing code by myself, which is something that I sometimes do when I am like doing something that I don't consider interesting enough for the stream. Okay, so end of distractions by chat. Let's do this. If we can receive a message on our little server here, if we can receive a message, the rest I am pretty sure I know how to do. I know how to send an email using SendGrid. That part is actually very easy. And sending emails is something that is usually not something you want to do by yourself. You want to use a third party like SendGrid, which has a generous free tier, so I probably will not be paying out of pocket for any of this. Heroku doesn't charge me for a free, very constrained app, but that's all I need. So scroll up to the top of OAuth and permissions and click on Install App to Workspace. Install to Workspace. SlackSucks is requesting permission to access the Courselor Slack workspace. What will SlackSucks be able to view? Content and info about channels and conversations. What will SlackSucks be able to do? Perform actions in channels and conversations. Allow. So now I'm installing this for the whole workspace, which is not what I wanted to do, but I think it's going to be the only way I can do this. You'll be led through Slack's OAuth UI, where you should allow your app to be installed to your development workspace. So now, as far as I understand what's going on here, if I come here to Courselor and settings and administration and manage apps, I will see SlackSucks in there. Here it is. And what is this around? I did not install this. Moving on. Once you authorize the installation, you land on the OAuth and permissions page and see a bot user OAuth access token. Oh, so this is the thing I should not be showing on the stream. They don't show it here, and I am showing on the stream. So I guess I will have, after the stream, to tear everything down and recreate it from scratch using the same permissions, the same code. Treat your token like a password, keep it safe, don't show it on the stream. That kind of thing. You shouldn't do that. Your app uses it to post and retrieve information from Slack workspaces. At least you don't get to see the whole thing, right? Please don't hack me. Be nice. Setting up your project. With the initial configuration, I only have the OAuth token. I don't have this signing secret situation. Oh, but I had it in another place. Yeah. So I think I have all the information I need. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm switching to this camera because I am now actually copying and pasting, and you will see the whole key. You don't get to see the whole key. You're missing characters from the key. But I am now copying this into a file that hopefully I will not show on the stream if I manage my windows correctly. And I am going to go ahead and try to do the same. Oh, now I just showed the characters. I showed the whole key. Here is the whole key. Yikes. Whatever. I'm revoking tokens and deleting the whole thing in like 30 minutes. Don't hack me. Be nice. Basic information. So I remember having this signing secret situation here. So I'm gonna try to at least hide this one. All right, so this is what's going on. Oh, no. I still have it open here. All right. Okay. There we go. No API keys on the screen. And I created this .env file that has the API keys in there. So you don't get to see that. I should probably add it to git ignore. Oh, yeah, it already exists. So I just say /.env. There we go. And I must not click on this, otherwise you will see everything. Okay. With the initial configuration handle, it's time to set up a new Bolt project, blah, blah, blah. It's teaching me how to do JavaScript, and I know how to do that. Copy your signing secret. I did that while I was showing my face. That's what I was doing. And copy your bot token from the OAuth and permissions page. I think that is also what I had. Let me double check that I have XOXB for bot. XOXB. All right, so I am good to go. It's a bot for poozers. Remember to keep your tokens and signing secret secure. Don't share it on the stream. Now let's create your app. So now I have everything I need. I think I need to install .env so that my .env file gets picked up. So I'm going to install this, and I'm also going to look. Oh, that's cool. .env sync. I like that. There is a .env.org. That's new to me. I haven't used .env in a while. Brought to you by .env. Okay. Are they trying to like make a company out of this? Maybe. Good for them. So how do I do that? I guess as early as you can in your app, just do that. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to do this, which will load up the environment variables from the .env file. Okay, so now I should be able to run this. Module not found. Explosion. Cannot find module.env. What did I do wrong? Not found. .nev? Of course not. It's .env. /6. Okay. And this blew up too. So I'm going to run it again, and I get a different URL. What happens if I just go to this URL? What is my server even going to do? It's going to not respond with anything. Just hanging there. What happens if I just try it locally? If I go to... Oh, okay, that's on me. It's running on port 3000. That was my mistake. I'll take it. Now I'll try this empty bullfrog situation and click on continue, and I don't see anything, but that's all right. It's going to respond to... so see, an an unhandled request was ignored. So it is running. All right. Hashtag skills, as in lack of skills, because I am sucking so bad at the code that I'm trying to do, the thing that I'm trying to do today. Okay, so setting up events. Your app behaves similarly to people on your team. It can post messages, add emoji, listen and respond to events. To listen for events happening on Slack workspaces, like when a message is posted. Bam, that's what I need. Or when a reaction is posted, you use the Events API to subscribe to event types. For this guide, we are going to be using socket mode, a recommended option for those just getting started and building something for their team. Okay, your coding skills lander plus the multitasking. Yeah, well, thank you. You're too generous, really. Socket mode lets apps use the Events API, but the Events API, the Events API has not been deprecated. The @Slack/Events API package for NPM has been deprecated in favor of both. I think that's what's happening. There you go. Now it makes sense. Socket mode apps, blah, blah, blah. This can be helpful during development. HTTP is more useful for apps being deployed, blah, 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 or apps intended for distribution. To continue this setting up guide with HTTP, head over here. I may want to use HTTP, right? Let me read this again. So socket mode seems to be easier to begin with, and it works without exposing a public HTTP endpoint. This can be useful during development or if you're receiving requests from behind a firewall. HTTP is more useful for apps being deployed to a hosting environment like Heroku or apps intended for distribution. I don't really care about distribution, but I am deploying to Heroku. Also, I figured the firewall situation and whatnot using local tunnels, so I guess we can move ahead with the HTTP API, and that's what we are going to use on Heroku as well. Okay, let's enable socket mode. Let's not. Get started with both for JavaScript and HTTP. Create an app, already done. Take tokens installing apps, already done. Setting up your project, done. And then setting up events with HTTP. Your app behaves similarly to people, blah, blah, blah. Let's enable events for your app. Go back to your app configuration page. Click on the app from your app management site. Toggle the switch labeled enable events. Enable. I guess that's where we were before. So it is over here on the features under event subscriptions. And then enable events. And it is on. No, it's not. I wasn't able to click on save changes. Bo says, it takes me days to produce a handful of lines of code. Well, we have copy and pasted code. We have not written a single line of code. But I see what you mean. Stitching together APIs can take a long time. Okay, enable posts, enable events. Add your request URL. Slack will post blah, blah, blah. So I think it's our empty bullfrog here. And it didn't respond to the challenge. But it is still running, right? Yeah, it is still running. So not respond to the challenge. Okay, boat. Add your request URL. We'll send blah, blah, blah. Boat uses the... Oh, okay. So I have to say Slack events. Okay, that's okay. I can do that. There you go. We have a URL. For local development, you can use a proxy service like ngrok. There you go. We looked at ngrok. I decided to use local tunnel because it was like 5 times more popular. We've written a separate tutorial about using ngrok for Slack for local development. Not needed. Finally, time to tell Slack what events we'd listen for. Under event subscriptions, toggle the switch labeled enable events. That's what I did. When an event occurs, Slack will send blah, 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 listening. Hang on, this doesn't really make sense. This is starting to repeat itself, right? Whatever, I'm not copy editing their documentation. When an event occurs, blah, 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 so we can subscribe to bot events or to events on behalf of users. I think I'm going to go with the bot version. That's what we did on the other one, the other part of the setup. So I'll listen for the message event. That is a message was posted to the channel, so that's the event I want to receive, and then I can finally click on save changes. Success. Success. Subscribe to bot events. There are 4 events related to messages. Message channels, listen for messages in public channels. Groups, in private channels your app is added to IM. And MPIM, multi-person DMs. That's what MPIM is for. It stands for. I think I'm gonna go with just the ones that I have enabled, because on IMs I have notifications enabled via Slack. Most of the time it works, I guess. Listening and responding to a message. Your app is now ready for some logic. Let's start by using the message method to attach a listener for messages. It's so helpful that their documentation has an example that is exactly more or less what I want to do. The following example listens and so that part of the documentation didn't suck too much. For the following example listens and responds to all messages in channels DMs where your app has been added that contain the word hello. So if I copy and paste all of this into here, what do we have? So this part is the same, and then this is saying token and signing secret and app token. I don't have that one. And socket mode true, but we are doing HTTP. Yeah, we are doing HTTP, so what gives? No. No, no, no. No. First of all, I don't have this app token situation, and second of all, I don't want to run in socket mode. We just learned that we want to do it in HTTP mode. So the token is the same, the signing secret is the same, but I commented out this socket situation, and I believe there will be something like this below. So I'm going to change that. Oh, yeah, better yet, I'm going to do it like this, because I also updated the operator to be 2021 version. So yes, I can delete this part. Listens to incoming messages that contain hello. Sends a message to the user where the event was triggered. Alrighty, let's see if this works. So I stop the app and restart it, and Slack Sucks is running. And under random, I'm going to say, hello everyone. Please ignore what I am saying here. I am testing email notifications. I am testing some things. Send. And then supposedly what was gonna happen was it was gonna say, hey there, me, but it didn't. Is it because I didn't say hello with a lowercase h? We can try hello like that, and nothing happened. Nothing at all. Well, let's see if we are even getting here. So I can stop this and restart. And my Slack sucks is running. And ignoring. Thank you. You're nice. So now I say hello. And it doesn't even run my console log, so it's not receiving the message at all. So that did not work well. If you restart the app, so long as your bot has been added to the channel DM. Oh, I think I need to add the bot to the channel. So let's go ahead and do that. How do I add a bot to a channel? Let me go to the channel and integrations, workflows, apps, add an app. Slack Sucks add. Slack Sucks was added to random by Leandro Vagnetti. Hello. Hey there, Leandro. Alrighty, we are getting something. We got here. We got it. And if I say hello, does it also work? No, it is looking for a hello with lowercase h. Hello doesn't work. Hello works. Alright. We are able to do something. Now, I want to not say hello back, and I am probably interested in some properties of the message, yes, but I'm not interested in saying anything, and I'm interested in listening for any message at all. I wonder if I can do that. Sending and responding to actions. Well, I guess at this point we are on our own. The walkthrough will not have something about this. So let me go to the message type, and I need to pass a pattern. It is required. Oh, it is not required. There is another version with just listeners. So I don't need to say a pattern. I can just say this. We got here. And then I'm running. And then someone says anything. And we got here. And someone... all right. Yeah, I guess that's what we need. So now we are ready to try to send an email. That's another API we are going to use. So let's go to SendGrid and try to send emails there. What do we need to do? Settings. And something I already did is I created accounts in all these places, in all like Heroku and SendGrid, and I went through the process of enabling the user to do anything. Like for instance, in SendGrid, you have to come here to sender authentication, which helpfully is at like hidden in the middle of 500 menus. Yeah, I extend some of my love for Slack to SendGrid as well. But at the end of the day, they're all giving me free stuff, so how much can I complain? In any case, I verified my email, so I am able to send emails using this address. That's important. So there is also this email API integration guide, and then in here there are some guides we are going to try to follow. So web API, Node.js, and then we're going to again copy and paste and modify stuff. I think I'll need to create a key now, so I'll do the same. I'll create a key and I will put it on my .env file. Oh, in fact, before I even do that, I'm going to commit what I have because I made progress. And this socket mode and app token really was not necessary. So there we go. Let's create this. So I'm switching to this camera and I'm going to create my API key. And I created an API key and I am copying an API key. Hang in there while we do this. And I think I did it. Oh, hang on. Let me switch back to this window. Yes, I was going to show you my API key as soon as I switched to the other tab, but I don't think I did that on the stream, so that's okay. I will come back to this scene, but I will not screw up. Install the package. Send your first email. I don't think that this is part of the code. I think this is wrapping from whatever. Okay, we can come here and do that and come back here and try to send an email. So that is the API key that I put in my .env file. It will be picked up because of this line, so I can come here and do that, and I can probably do all the initialization in one place. And then there is this message sending situation, but over here, instead of saying we got here, I'm going to send a message. And my to will be something like slack@liafac.com. If you don't know anything at liafac.com, gets to me. From, and then I need to use my verified sender. So let me switch back to this so I don't mess up things by scrolling where I shouldn't. And I am going to go to settings and sender authentication. So now there is nothing sensitive on my screen. I will take this email. It says domain, but it's not a domain, it's an email. So from this, and it's important that it's this. You have to verify that you can send from here. You have to verify your email. And then subject, then I guess I can use stuff from the message that was sent. So what do I have here? I have something like a channel. What is a channel? Is it a string? Yes, it is. So text, and then I can use a message, what? Message contents, message text, message. A message is any. So message, this payload. Well, whatever, I'm gonna try again. So what do I have going on here? User, type, topic, team, root, purpose, old name. There is not even a, oh, there is. Attachments, channel, files hidden, inviter, name, purpose. Yeah, whatever. I don't really need text. I think I should be able to send just a message with just a subject. Messages were sent at. Okay, and then there is this whole send message, so I don't need to have this as a separate variable. Therapeutic refactoring, and then this is going to be an asynchronous thing, so I can await for it, and then if something goes wrong, whatever. I wonder what happens with the API for Slack if this throws an exception, if this will handle the exception gracefully. I think it will. I mean, it's the least it could do for me. Oh, not that again. So let's run this. Slack sucks. It is running. Let me come here and I'll say hello. And I have no feedback. Oh, it exploded. Bad request. Why? Authorization, content type, blah, blah, blah. Didn't work. Body, errors, array. So how about I commit what I have, because I'm going to start an investigation. I'm going to say try to send an email and catch error and console error. So if we run this version instead, Then I should see more stuff on the body. No. Can I say something? So this is an error type. How do I see the response? Do I just say like response body, something like that? Or maybe I JSON stringify it? Message. Unless a valid template ID is provided, the content parameter is required. Ah, okay. That's okay. So was it content? Is that what we had? Okay, I have to go back to that doc where my API was in the page. I don't think it will be there anymore when I navigate it back to it, but just be safe. Yeah, it's not showing me my API key, so I can come back here safely. And I can say text. Okay, so it was just missing the message, the contents of the email. Okay, no errors, no errors. So let me go to my email, and again, I don't want to for you all to see my email. But I did not receive anything. Oh my god, look at this. I got a freaking email. And of course, this is an identifier, not the name of the channel, but that's all right. I guess I can try to poke at the channel's name. Oh no, the channel is already a string, so probably I would need to make an API call to get the channel name. So whatever, I'm just going to say there are new messages on Slack. And I'm going to, let's go through this again. I'm going to start the app. I'm going to go to Slack. I'm going to say hello. I'm going to switch to my face so you don't get to see my inbox. And I'm going to wait for a couple seconds. And there are new messages in Slack. So here is our bot. Our bot works. Awesome. It wasn't as easy as I wanted it to be, and it doesn't come from my perspective. It is for the whole workspace, but it worked. So I'm going to wrap this up now, and next time, which is probably gonna be on Thursday, next time we are going to deploy this to Heroku, so I don't have to have it running on my machine and use local tunnel. So yeah, we did it. We nailed it. We were able to send email. And Bo, you were saying how, oh, you now get to see my email. But you're saying how it takes you long to write code. This is the entirety of the code that we wrote, and we just literally copy and paste it and adapt it. So that's what you end up doing when you're stitching APIs together. It's super important to be able to do this, but it comes up often, really. But it's not something that I find interesting or rewarding in any way. In any case, so let's create a Slack sucks public repository on GitHub, and I am pushing this, so I really hope I did not mess it up and publish like my API keys or something. No, nothing there. Awesome. So you can go to this URL now and you can follow along with the development. So thank you all for being here with me, for being on the chat, for subscribing to the channel, for supporting me on PayPal and Patreon. My schedule is tomorrow. I'm going to be over at Arya's channel, IDQD Sound, and we'll be talking about JS effects. He is developing a game. It's an equalizer. It helps you train your ears. It's awesome, and I'm helping him. So we'll be writing code for Reaper and audio And then on Wednesday, Arya will be over here. We will be continuing our song. We are recording a song. We recorded guitars, and I need to do my homework. Yeah, see you tomorrow, Arya. So I'll do my homework, and we'll be. I will have beat mapped my performance, and we'll probably record vocals or maybe edit the guitar. I don't know exactly. In any case, maybe we even double the guitar. We'll see. It will be fun. And then on Thursday, I will continue this. I will continue this Slack Sucks app, and we will deploy it to Heroku and have it run and forget about it and forget that this whole thing happened. Yeah, thanks for being with me while I'm so grumpy about Slack. Oh, piece of shit. All right, see you tomorrow over at Arya's channel. Bye.